We started out in Singapore, cruised to Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Canton, and Hong Kong. Beautiful trip. Look below the line I drew. That'll give you a basic idea of where we were in relation to other countries, also the relative sizes. The entire green area is Malaysia. To the left, the green is the Malay Peninsula. Singapore is at the tip, and it's the red area, connected to Malay Peninsula by a 3/4-mile causeway. This is Singapore, as modern as any European or American city, a major port, a major trade center of the world, an independent nation since 1965 when it withdrew from Malaysia. This is also Singapore. We explored it at night in a rickshaw. We had only the next day before the cruise began. We took a ferry to the resort area of Sentosa Island. From the ferry, we could see the extremely busy port of Singapore. We had just flown into Singapore from Los Angeles the day before. We're sure making the most of the 2 days we have in Singapore. This is going to give us a good overview of the island. Singapore is probably the cleanest city in the world, with the possible exception of some of the cities in Switzerland and Holland. This is the surrender chamber, where the British surrendered to the Japanese. These lifelike figures depict the surrender. A cable car instead of a ferry back to the island of Singapore, and we're thinking about the surrendering of the British to the Japanese that we had just seen depicted. During World War II, the Japanese attacked by land on bicycle through the dense jungle. The British had all the defenses pointed to the sea, thinking the jungle was just impassable. They were wrong. Here's where we did some shopping in Singapore. And this is another lovely shopping area. Boarding time. This is a 450-passenger ship built in 1967 in Denmark for deluxe cruising. Our officers were Scandinavian, the crew Philippine. The Philippines were outstandingly friendly and pleasant, the best part of the life aboard the ship, without a doubt. The usual lifeboat drill, of course. We were on the ship just one night, and then we took an optional bus trip overland. Our destination is Lake Toba. Here are some of the sights we saw from the bus. The ship will proceed and pick us up in 2 days. It's an optional trip, and everyone doesn't choose to take it. But we don't want to miss anything at all. These are the first rice paddies we see. These are called terraced. The rice is supposed to taste different from terraced paddies. By contrast, a busy village we go through. Welcome to Lake Toba and our hotel for 2 nights. A full day with a ferry trip. This is the largest and deepest lake in Southeast Asia. We cruised to Samovar Isle in the middle of Lake Toba. saw the houses of the Batak tribe. And the Batak people who did some traditional dances for us. And we wander around after the dances. We want to see the other tribesmen, tribespersons. Back on our ferry to the hotel for dinner and a walk to some little marketplace. We proceed now on bus to Penang. Our ship will meet us there. The ship will have cruised from Singapore, right there on the tip of the peninsula, up the west coast to Penang. Now you can see it better. Georgetown, also known as Penang locally, is part of Malaysia. Malaysian history can be traced back to the 1400s. The Portuguese, the Dutch, the British controlled it at various times. Aboard ship, we convert to some Penang money. This is the usual when we land anywhere. The local banking people come aboard, we line up for money or stamps or postcards. From our boat decks, a colorful welcoming. Friendly people, special dress, special dances for us. All the people seem so friendly, so colorful, so happy to have us there. Even a welcome to Pearl of Scandinavia banner for us. Our people mingled with the local people. We took a taxi with another couple. We went on what's called a funicular, a train that went right to the top of a high mountain from sea level. Here are some scenes from the train. It was a half-hour ride. It was jam-packed. We had to stand. It was school vacation, and endless lines of local people also sightseeing. And then the taxi back by way of seeing a mosque and seeing the waterfront and the people doing laundry. The downtown area, I guess you'd call it. The taxi back to our boat, and we see little boats in the harbor. Back on the ship, another really great day. Nias is our next stop. Nias is an island 100 miles off the west coast of Sumatra. That's Sumatra. We see rice paddies as we take a bus around the island. These are also terraced. It's such hard work and no modern machinery. Water buffalo help a great deal, and so do the women. This is a little village we stopped at. We're talking to the people as we walk through the village. And they always have pigs. I think they're both pets and dinner. A big welcome for us. We've gone through the little village to where their homes are. They're going to do their traditional dances for us. And they're going to show us their homes. These homes are different than the previous ones we saw. The dances are different, the costumes are different. It was so hot for us standing under the hot sun watching all this, but you just relax and sit back in the chair and enjoy it. It takes a lot of skill to jump this high. Back on the ship, and we look forward to seeing Sumatra tomorrow. Today we're going to see Sumatra. That's a large Indonesian island, and we're going to see it by bus. Yesterday we saw Nias, a little island off Sumatra. That sign on the bus, fully air-conditioned, doesn't mean a thing. An arts and crafts market. Our active photographer taking a rest. They would like us to buy more. They would really like us to buy more, trying to sell to us through the window as the bus is leaving. Our bus is now crossing this bridge. We're going to park somewhere else. This is still another market. And some more people. Watching the local people is always so educational. A common form of local transportation, a very common form. You see a lot of that. And in the larger towns, motorcycles certainly are. We're in Jakarta now. And buses. and a lot of cars here. A vendor stand, we usually see those. And some street scenes. And a country road. A coffee bean plantation. Those are coffee beans. We've reached another village to see their dayaks. That's a type of house, a dayak. And their dances. And the local tribe and the simple life. Pigs. Always see pigs and chickens. As we walk back to our bus, we see boys diving for coins. A mosque. We see that from our bus as we're driving back. This is a beautiful one, very ornate. Now we're in Yogyakarta. I hope I pronounced it right. This is one of the 3 principal cities in Indonesia, one of the foremost cultural centers of Java. We're at a hotel and they showed this Ramayana pageant. It's a traditional story. It depicts war between a monkey army and giants. Both sides resort to spiritual power. And good will triumph over evil. I think that's the basic in all of their traditional stories, their traditional little pageants. It was very well done. The green is Bali, the principal island of Indonesia, possibly the most exotic island in the world, 2,000 square miles, 20,000 temples. Little boats come out to greet us. We've heard so much about Bali. We're looking forward to getting off our ship. We're going to be going in a tender, and we're going to be going to where they'll greet us. That's our tender. And how about that for a greeting? This is Bali as we saw it from the back of our truck. Yes, truck. We sat on benches in the back of the open-air truck. Such a hot sun beating down on us, but it was worth it. We've come to the open-air temple. Which temple? Who knows? Like I said, there are 20,000 temples in Bali. But this is a special one for us today because they're going to put on a pageant. We have benches to sit on, hard benches, but benches to sit on, and we're going to be watching this pageant. It takes about an hour. Costumes, as usual, are beautiful. There's music along with the dancing. Bali's beautiful, but I just can't take any more of the heat for today. I find a few other people who feel the same way. We go back to the ship. Dave is going to stick it out, get a lot more good pictures for us. Our tender passed these little boats on the way back to our ship. Ashore that evening in Bali, a different dance. Brunei, that's the yellow, a colorful Islamic sultanate. That's where we are a couple of days later. This oil-rich country gained its independence from Britain in 1983. From our ship, we took a tender to see the mosque. This is the most beautiful mosque in Southeast Asia. Very ornate, very lavish. Yes, that's really gold you're looking at. The magnificent golden dome dominates the city. We leave our shoes outside, Islam custom. Then we put our shoes back on and walk to the largest stilt village in the world. What a contrast with the wealth of the mosque. More than 30,000 people live like this over the water. Now we're going to go back to the ship, have a couple days on the water. The green is Sabah, that's where we're going. Sabah and Sarawak are part of Malaysia. Kuching is the capital of Sarawak. Kota Kinabalu is the capital of Sabah. They're just below the typhoon belt. We're going to take a tour to another quaint stilt village. This one's an hour from Kuching. This is Kuching. It's the capital of Sarawak. It's a trading settlement. This is the hour trip it took us to get to the stilt village. Rice paddies. Always little villages, always children. And this is the stilt village we came to see. Roast pork for dinner tonight. Cooking the pig. These houses are built over concrete stilts. And now we return to Kota Kinabalu, where we will meet our ship. Oh, this I know you're going to want to hear about first. The headhunters lived here. We're told that they don't do that anymore. But yes, those are human skulls. Take a good look. I didn't really want to. And now our ship. Tomorrow we're going to take an overland 5-hour train trip. The train took us here to Surabaya. And we came to visit the Borodurdu. How in the world do I pronounce that? It's being restored, attracts many visitors. That's Shang, our ship's Oriental Arctic expert lecturer from San Francisco, and a close-up of some of the numerous works of art. Back on the bus, going through town, with a stop at the Sultan's Palace. The priest is explaining everything there to us. But we're hot, we're looking forward to getting back to the air-conditioned ship. And we're really looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Canton, China. The red dot is Canton in the People's Republic of China, an important industrial center. The port, Whampoa, is South China's major foreign trade port. It's been a center for foreign commerce for 2,000 years. Dinner in the largest and most crowded restaurant imaginable, but then they all are. We said it would be impossible to escape in case of fire. The ship's rabbi joking with our Chinese guide. Canton people are shorter and more wiry than the northern Chinese. They're tall. After dinner, we're taken to an opera. We were totally unprepared for the beauty and perfection of the art. We couldn't believe it. Really, really worth seeing. I'd like to tell you something about the Chinese people. The communists came into power in 1949. Industrial growth has been slower here than in the north because of lack of coal and iron, but there are sugar refineries, cement fertilizer, and chemical plants, and a very large bicycle factory in Canton. As for the people, only 3 out of every 100 in the country are Communist Party members. But that means there are 35 million members and the largest Communist Party in the world. The opera is over. Next day, and we're taking to another restaurant. The government's tour guide is always with us. Scenes as we're driving through Canton. The baby poster reminds the people about family planning. In Canton, if you have more than one child, you lose the bonus at work as well as all the people who work in your group losing theirs. The first child can go to school free, the second you must pay for, the third no school at all. We're going to the zoo. If you wondered what a zoo is like in Canton, you're about to see it. Beautiful gardens, an oriental bridge. These are panda bears, the main attraction. Too bad we don't have a close-up picture. We leave the zoo and look forward to the Philippine Islands, our next port of call. The Philippines were a colony of Spain for over 300 years, then a territory of the United States for about 50 years, then independence in 1946. In 1972, Marcos imposed martial law, and then democratic institutions of the country ceased to function. See the map? Well, that's where the Philippines are, right there. The Philippines consist of 7,100 tropical islands extending 1,000 miles from north to south. The two largest islands are Luzon and Mindanao. They make up 65% of the total land area. We ride the rapids right outside of Manila on a river. The Filipino people are renowned for their charm and friendliness. Complete system of education, public education, from elementary to university level. Mostly private education, though, at the college level. English is used in the schools, but Tagalog is the local language. This is the Intramuros, and these are the dungeons used by the Japanese during the Second World War when they invaded Manila. Passing rice fields on the way back to the ship. Did I mention there are only two seasons, wet and dry, and frequent typhoons? We have to take that into account with the rice paddies and when they have water. Water buffalo. A little hut on one of the rice paddies. We went into that house, and a good picture of David, who took so many good travel pictures. And now, Hong Kong. We sail to Hong Kong, fly back home. Here are a few pictures of Hong Kong, but not very many. We were sick most of the time we were in Hong Kong, but we had been there before. It's been a delightful 5 weeks. We're looking forward to going home now. Oh, this has been a great time, but wait a minute. Don't go away. Travel is exciting, interesting, educational, relaxing, but it's always good to get back home. Hello? Oh, hi, Larry. How are you? Good to hear from you, dear. Well, it's not that I don't want you to come over to see the vacation slides. No, it's just they're not ready. No, not the ones from last year or the year before either. No, none of them really. I don't know. There's nothing much I can do about it. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do. I've been thinking about it, and we're just going to put it on video. Yes, I will. I really will. I'm going to think about it right now. I'll call you back. Bye-bye, dear. Well, I guess I better do something about it. Let's see where the slides are. Well, let's see. If we're going to do vacation slides for 10 years, that's too much to cope with. I think I better figure out 1 year at a time. What's all this? I'm not going to use the screen. Get that out of the way. This has to be the slides from Africa because he's got these African necklaces here. You don't want to... This has to be Africa. All these boxes from Africa? Okay, next step. Take this in the kitchen. That's what I'm doing next. Well, I guess I've got them all out of the box. Now, let's see, what's the procedure? All these are Africa. Each box has so many in them. I think I better get the travel brochure, figure out where we were each day when we were in Africa. We're talking about a month that we were gone that trip. Okay, these boxes don't mean too much to me. This is marked A, this is marked 24. This has a date. Let's see what this is. Give me a hint. Oh, they've got a front and a back. And I've got to put them into something for the person who's going to do this work, who's going to put it on tape. I've got to put in upside down, front or back. I have to figure that out or ask him. Now, these have numbers, and I'm not going to use them in the order in which they are, but I better get them back again in the right order, or Dave won't be happy about that. So, I'll use red for my number, the order in which I'm going to put it, and then I'll disregard that number later when I put it back. Let's see what we've got. All right, I know only touch the edge, don't touch the film. Goodness, he's told me all the things not to do. I wish now he had told me what to do. And then I'll figure out which is the front and which is the back. And then I'll arrange this in the order in which I want them. I think what I'm doing now is just to weed out, like I don't need this one, it's a duplicate of that and it's not as good a picture. Back in the box, same box though. Well, I can't do a professional job and it'll be the first time I'm trying it, but it'll be better than nobody ever seeing where we go. They begin to think we don't go anywhere. We'll have a surprise birthday party for him and invite all the kids. And when they say, show us the slides, and he can't find excuses not to, and he starts to take out the projection screen, won't he be surprised when I tell him, don't bother with that, just turn on the TV. I hope these come out good, and I hope he likes them. That's what we're going to do. All right. I think that the heading I'm looking for is video recording. At least I'll start with that, and they'll tell me if I've got the wrong heading. I'll make a couple calls and see who's good at doing this in the neighborhood. I understand there's something called dissolving, so one slide goes into another. Dave was taking a course. He started a course, and he was talking about that, so I think that's an important feature. And I'll be able to narrate it. And, gee, maybe we can even have music in the background. This might be fun. I'm going to call somebody in here. Good morning, Steve. Here I am again. This time we're going to do the Indonesian trip. All right, Steve, here we go again. Now, I've got, like before, I've got these all in numerical order, chronological, according to the dates on which we were in those places. And then, inside each box, I've got them numbered like before.
Okay.
Number 1, 2, 3, and I've got it written down in my script here. And then each box is a different page. Now, I don't know if I've got it on the right side or the wrong side. Do I have to do that, or can you take care of that?
I can take care of it.
Oh, good, good, good. And I'm not sure if I've got upside down or not. You'll take care of that too?
Yes.
You're a pleasure. You make it so easy. The hardest part is doing this without my husband knowing. I'm just surprised my husband doesn't ask me where I go so early in the morning. Or one of these days he may go to his photography closet, but I doubt if he could notice anything was missing from all the things that are there. I really want him to be surprised, and I don't want him to know anything about this until it's all done. Will he be surprised? Maybe I'll be surprised. Okay, testing, testing. How's the audio level, all right? Testing, testing.
Very good. Okay.
All right, fine. Okay. This is Singapore, a major port, a major trade center of the... I better do that again, Steve. You did a good job with the maps and the titles. Now, let's see, I have 15 seconds, and I'm not quite sure how much I can say in 15 seconds, but I think I can get this all in.
Ready? Take 2.
This is Singapore, a large... Oh, I did it wrong again.
Ready? Take 3.
This is Singapore, a major port, a major trade center of the world, as modern as any European or American city, an independent nation since 1965 when it withdrew from Malaysia. 2.5 million people, Malays, Chinese, Indians, Arabs, Europeans. That's beautiful music you've picked, Steve. And Mary was sure to help with the music, too. I love the way you've made the music go louder and softer. You know, these tapings just bring back the trips to me completely. I almost forgot where I was, because every day we were in a different village, town, city, country. Dave will enjoy these. Took some very good pictures. Good, Steve. Okay, that's it.
Pictures only. With narration.
This is the most beautiful mosque in Southeast Asia. Very ornate, very lavish. Yes, that is gold you're looking at.
Then add music.
The magnificent golden dome dominates the city. We leave our shoes outside, Islam custom. Then we put our shoes back on and walk to the largest stilt village in the world. What a contrast with the wealth of the mosque. We'll show you Hong Kong another time. Hope you've enjoyed these trips. We certainly did. Well, Steve, we did it.
Okay. Now I got a master and a copy. This copy is for you.
All right. Steve, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to go home and see if I have more slides that I can do this with. I know we went to Spain, to Portugal. We've had some other trips I just don't remember, and I don't know where those slides are. I'm going to try to find them. And I thank you very, very much.
Okay.
You've done a beautiful job.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank
Go
you.
home and enjoy your tape.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.